Hello, my friends. Hi. Are you taking a break from doing your taxes? I'm taking a break from doing my taxes. I see it all. I see it all. It's amazing. It all comes together. And I don't like it one bit. Hi. Hi. Welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for coming back. If this is your first time here, hello. My name is Arlene. Arlene Bishop. I'm a performing singer-songwriter, and I'm a late diagnosed autistic person with ADHD. I'm so late, in fact. It took until I was 58 to find out what was going on. All kinds of things, all kinds of evidence, but that's how long it took. And here I am at 61, and I'm figuring out what my coping mechanisms were that were healthy and those that were unhealthy. I have all kinds of behaviors. Have you ever heard about trying to teach an old dog a new trick? Well, I'm not an old dog. That's a stupid expression. Old dogs are nice. I like old dogs. I wanted to talk today about a thing that's really triggering a lot of people right now, and that is it's tax time. It's tax time, so let's just flap, because sometimes we flap when we're happy and sometimes we flap when we're freaking out. It's okay, don't freak out. Why do I freak out so much with my taxes? Well, it's because of a thing called autistic veracity. Autistic veracity, for many of us, it's got three components. Veracity being truth, reality. For one thing, we like things to be correct. They just need to be correct. A correct thing is a correct thing. Math has a correct answer. So, correct. I like things to be correct. Drives me a little kooky when people take a scientific result and apply it in a weird way. I think, no, that is not correct. The other autistic veracity that we really experience strongly is truth. Truth. I want the truth. I don't like things to be sugar-coated. That's fine. We can sugarcoat it later. But right now, I just want the truth. Just the unadulterated truth. The facts. And then the other thing about autistic veracity, we can really struggle with observing right and wrong. It's really important. Right and wrong. Right and wrong. My right arm is the one with the scar on my elbow. That's how I remember which hand is my right hand. Right and wrong. When it's right, it's right. When it's wrong, it's wrong. And then it needs to be fixed to be right. Right? All right, how do we experience this autistic veracity through our lives, through my life, in my Reframing Childhood Experiences series that I'm doing? Told a story about how I went to a store with a kid that I didn't know very well and got roped into a shoplifting scheme that didn't turn out well for me. It's a fun story. You know mini putt? You know mini golf? Have you ever played that? It's so fun. I think it is fun. 18 holes, tiny little course, right? It might only be 20 feet long or a few meters long on some sort of course where you bounce the ball off the walls and it goes through an alligator's nose. It goes through the windmill, the windmill, the windmill, the windmill, the windmill. And you gotta go through these angles. Angle, boom, in. Oh yeah, mini putt, very satisfying. But have you ever played mini putt with a cheater? Have you ever played mini putt with a cheater? Mm-hmm. Where you know they took 5 strokes because they're lame, but they're like, oh, 4. It was 4. Mm-hmm. Cheaters. Cheaters? Okay, cheaters. I'm gonna talk more about cheaters. Have you ever, when you went to school, did you ever see people cheating? Did you ever witness people cheating? Did you ever see kids swapping papers back and forth, or with, answers written on their shoulders? Their shoulders, what do you call this part? Hand. Wouldn't it be weird if you did, if you wrote your answer on your shoulder and you're like, they write it on their hand? Cheaters. I don't like cheaters. That's a problem. That's really dysregulating. When I see cheating, it really upsets me. It pushes that button on. When I get a little older, and the whole romance starts happening, and, we, or let me say I, get selected to be in a relationship, which is kind of what it felt like for most of my life. Wow, look at that, dysregulated. I wonder how this is going to turn out, this video. It's a little bit flappy, isn't it? Well, it's because I'm doing my taxes. I'm a little... What was I talking about? I was talking about relationships. Oh, yeah. Relationships. Have you ever been cheated on? Ugh, the grossest thing. Have you ever been a cuckold? Have you ever been cooked? It's a drag. Been in a relationship with somebody who cheated? Oh, it's really devastating. I found it devastating. I had a hard time trusting women after that, which is weird. But I thought, you knew I was there. Why you, lady, are going to him when you know that him is with me and you know me? Bad cheating. That's a problem for me. Button on. And then here we are in taxes. Taxes are really important. Taxes build our roads, taxes clean our water, and I like our taxes to be compassionate. I like to take care of people, to take care of all of us. My philosophy is that there's enough. There's enough for everyone. And we just need to distribute it better. And distribution, I suppose, starts with understanding what's right and wrong. Button on. That button again. Well, when I do my taxes, I experience what a lot of autistics and a lot of late diagnosed or undiagnosed autistics experience. And that is, I earn enough money to live by doing a lot of things, anything that I can during the year. I have several jobs on the go, and then I pick up little bits and pieces. I have to do it that way, because a long time ago, I started to realize that I couldn't work what they call full-time. I couldn't do Monday to Friday from 9 o'clock until 6 o'clock every day. That was part of my burnout. I could only keep a full-time job, for about 2 years. I could remain that interested, focused, motivated, and really working hard for an employer for about 2 years. And then I couldn't do it anymore, and I would just start to fall apart, and then I couldn't do it anymore. I would have to leave that job. So I, like many people, like many of you, like you probably, have a lot of different income streams. And still at that, we often live, statistically, we live near or below the poverty level of whatever country that it is that we live in, because autistics have a hard time remaining employed, because workspaces are not built for people to be comfortable and productive. They're built to be inexpensive and an extraction facility of, I don't know. When I'm going through all my receipts, I'm being really careful. And I spend stupid amounts of time thinking about this expense. These are batteries. I need batteries to play my guitar amplified. And so this $4.52 for a battery is justified. Every single receipt gets that treatment. Every time. So I'm always battling. Is this correct, this receipt? Is this the truth about this receipt? And is this right? That I need to justify that I need a freaking battery to play my guitar. Or is it wrong? Here's the wrong part. The wrong part is that me, like you, we're at the bottom of the economic thing. Whatever that model is. We're lower. Most of us are lower. The whole world is lower. But there's a handful of people. There's a room full of people. There's a ballroom full of people. That's what the measurement is. Like a flock of seagulls. There's a herd of cattle. There's a ballroom of billionaires. A small number of people who have more money than the rest of us have combined. And that's insane. We live in a world that has been built to help some people and not other people. And there are some people who are ballroom people who don't worry about their taxes. They're not thinking about what's correct. They're not thinking about what's true. They're not thinking about what's right and wrong. They're thinking about what is the least amount of tax that they can contribute to the economy in which they benefit. Something in them says,
I made all this money. You can't have it.
oh, that's really shitty. That's super, super shitty. Because where did they make that money? They made that money from us. They made that money from us buying their products in their shitty packaging that we have to dispose of at our cost. Yeah. They got all that money by doing their crap on the roads that we pay for with our taxes because they don't pay taxes relatively to what we pay. They pay this much tax. And because so much more is needed, governments need to get it from somebody else. So they get it from us. They get it from us, the people who don't have a whole bunch of lawyers and a whole bunch of accountants and a whole bunch of CPAs and CFAs who can figure out what to do with our money. What to do with that extra $24 this month. Woohoo! This year's a little bit special too for me and extra challenging because I'm doing my mother's taxes as well, and she passed away in June. And that means that when I go through my affairs and I go through her affairs, I'm spending a lot of time thinking about what a tricky year it was, what a challenging year it was. My mom passing. Okay, what was I thinking about? What does that mean about billionaires and millionaires? Well, occasionally I meet a rich person and I think, you fucker, you're probably not paying your taxes, are you? You fucker. Button on. Which is not nice. It's not nice to have the preconceived idea about people. But now I do. The richer you are, the less you contribute. That's what I think. And I don't want to think that way because I actually don't think it's true. I think there are a lot of people who do have money, who do contribute and who want to contribute. And there are rich people who are actually saying that they want to be taxed more to make society better because it's pretty obvious that the reason why our kids are having a harder time, then they're not going to be able to buy houses or, can they go to school? How can they get student loans? How could they ever pay them off? What kind of jobs are they going to be able to get? What kind of money are they ever going to be able to save? That's because of wealth inequality. That's the thing that has been built. That there's a ballroom of billionaires that have more money than all of us combined. Button on. Oof. Okay, this is a bit low key and I should make this more up key. Up key? Is that how you do it? Up key? It's low key and I need to make it up key? That's not right. Because the algorithm wants me to be all frenetic and freaked out and yell and swear and do things. And I've discovered that the video where I'm at Shasta and I'm trying to get everything organized, that did way better than the video where I'm in the studio early morning just tending to things quietly. Isn't that weird? The algorithm wants the upset. I don't care what the algorithm says, which is just the same as every other time in my life, right? Make music. I'll make the music, the kind of music I want to make. I'll make the kind of videos I want to make. That's it. That's what I will do. That's what I'll do. I don't care what the algorithm says. I don't care what the instructions say. I don't care what the prompt says when I open up the upload button. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what the algorithm thinks the title should be. I don't care what the algorithm thinks how I should describe it. I don't care. The algorithm can screw off. I don't know if this video is going to make any sense. I think I'm going to have to edit the crap out of this video. Jeepers. It's not that surprising. My brain, the part of my brain, my admin brain is working. So my in admin brain is working and my out blah blah brain is not working very well. And I'm going to talk about this more, I think, on Patreon, where we have a beautiful little community. Thank you very much for my friends at Patreon, where you can be a free member and you can have different tiers if you want. I don't offer different things to different people because I can't do that in my heart. It feels wrong. I appreciate when people can contribute. That's amazing. But sorry to say that they don't get any more special stuff than the people who can't contribute anything. Because what they're contributing is their eyeballs and their feedback. I love the feedback. It's really, really helpful. It's very helpful. You know, I've been through a lot of therapy. This was really an interesting video, I think, about all the therapies that I went through. I've learned more in my year on YouTube about being autistic and ADHD than, I don't know, than I could have with any therapist. Clearly all the therapists that I saw didn't know what autism was in an adult. It's too bad. It might have been helpful to know earlier. But here you are. Here you are and here we are. It's not much further. There's just a little more paperwork to do. Another bucket of receipts, right? Another sharpened pencil. You'll get there. I'll get there. We'll do it. Just do it. Do it. Take a break. Do a little bit, take a break, do a little bit, take a break. Try to take your breaks at the end of a chapter of what you're doing. If you're doing a particular category, if you're scanning stuff, take a break after that. You know what I mean? Break it into little chunks if you can. Break it into minutes if you have to. That's what we have to do. You'll get there because you are a contributing member of society. You're not a cheat. And I'm so glad that you came here. Thank you very much. You take care of yourself and your gentle heart in these very difficult times. I will take care of myself too. Thank you for reminding me. And let's take care of some other people, because that's what we do. And I will see you soon.